Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am Joanne, founder of Animal Communication Insights and author of Conversations with Companions. I'm so excited to share with you something special today. We are launching 2 new digital card decks that are all about helping you connect better with your pets and animal companions. First, let me tell you about the Animal Communication Conversations cards. This 62 card deck has a bunch of questions divided into curiosity, concern, and contemplation categories. They are designed to help pet parents, animal communication enthusiasts, animal lovers move beyond the same old questions and dive deeper into meaningful conversations with their pets and animal companions. Then we have the Animal Communication Deep Speak cards. This 44 card deck is all about encouraging intuitive communication without worrying about getting the right answers. Whether you're just starting out or have been communicating with animals for a while, these cards will help you practice and explore in a fun and creative way. Today, I am thrilled to be chatting with members in my community who are involved in the creation of these card decks. And we will be discussing some of the surprising and meaningful insights that they have gained through animal communication. We'll also talk about how these cards help take the pressure off and make communicating more creative, and how they can help anyone who's feeling stuck or unsure about where to start. So let's welcome Hana and dive into this exciting conversation. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy our chat. Welcome, Hana. Please introduce yourself and tell us who your featured animals are in the Deep Speak cards.
So hello, I'm really glad that I'm here. My name is Hana, and I have chosen 3 of my animals because I have more than 3 at home, and those are 2 ladies, 2 birds. One is Richie, and the other one is Ari. And I have also chosen Pip, and it's a cat. It's a boy.
Yes, we are looking forward to Pip, Ari, and Richie being animal teachers in the cards. And how did you come into animal communication? What's your story?
Yeah, I have always loved animals. I think most of us, and ever since I learned that there's such a thing like animal communication, I just wanted to learn it. I knew it was my path, but I wanted to learn animal communication, like to be conscious that I'm able to speak with animals, because like everyone can speak with them, but not everyone is conscious about it. So that was the beginning, and then I started to read many books about animal communication and started taking classes and attending lectures, and I even passed a professional exams, and I received a certificate that said that I'm like professional animal communicator. However, I didn't feel like one. Something was missing, and I realized that my communications feel stiff. I didn't feel comfortable at all, and after every communication, I was very exhausted, and probably the worst thing was that I I wasn't happy. These communications didn't bring me joy because I was concentrating to be correct. So, and another thing that was very sad for me, that I could communicate with other people's animals, I wasn't able to communicate with my own, and that was the main reason why I started learning animal communication. And I felt that I wasn't good enough because I didn't understand my animals.
You are so honest, and it's so refreshing to hear this story, because there's so many of us, and I was the same. But we keep it almost like a secret, that we feel quite stressed sometimes with doing communication, and we get upset and sad, like you say, because animal communication is a loving act, it's a sacred act. And I am sure when we very first discovered it, we were excited. So something happened, didn't it, along the way, where when we first didn't even know it was animal communication, but we started reading books because something happened for us to get curious and interested. And then when we started reading books, watching videos, learning courses, the excitement was definitely there, because we were very much almost throwing ourselves into it. And for you to get to a point where you committed time, money, energy into getting the certified, professional status. So somewhere along the lines, I'm saying we because I can really relate to you. And I'm sure whoever's watching this video will suddenly go, oh my goodness, I'm not the only one who feels like this. So I'm very glad that you've brought it up right at the beginning, because what we'll be interested to know is, I mean, how many years ago was it that you took the professional certification?
Actually, it was in 2015, so it's been quite a long time ago, and I wasn't confident enough to go out with my communications, you know, to even tell somebody. Even my family didn't know.
So that was 2015, and we're now in 2024. So that tells me you hadn't given up. Are you able to tell us, maybe in a, maybe like a little summary, as to what kept you in there? Why did you not give up?
I couldn't give up because I loved animals so much, and I knew I knew that I would never stop trying because I couldn't see any other way. I I couldn't become. I didn't know how to work with animals other way, in differently.
So whoever's also listening to this, if they, because they know this story about, you having those struggles, and yet you knew you weren't going to give up because you love animals so much. And here we are talking, because we're going to get to a place where they can find out, how things are with you right now. How did you get to find the Deep Speak membership group? And did that start to help you to get to a place where, things started to feel different and your understanding of animal communication improved?
It was one day when I heard you talking on some video, or on an interview, and you were speaking about about talking with animals, with our own animals, that it is easy, because everyone around me was saying it's the most difficult thing. And I heard you saying the opposite. So I started following you on social media, and very soon I just decided to join the membership group. And it's been 2 years already, and I don't regret it. and and my confidence grew up, and I'm really glad that I'm there. I learned so many things, and it's getting better and better.
Well, that's certainly one of our, when I say our, because Piedad and myself have co-created these deep speak cards for exactly the type of person that you have been describing about yourself, where you want to communicate with your own animals and that you also want to communicate with other people's animals. It's not like you just want to communicate with just your own or just other people. Was that the first time you've come across that idea or that concept when we presented it in the Deep Speak community?
When I tried it for the first time, I learned what surprised me the most was that communicating with animals can actually be fun, which sounds really strange, but I learned that it's not necessarily to always communicate about like serious things, and we don't always have to solve something in communications. We can just talk. So that was the most like surprising thing. And probably the biggest surprise for me was that animals are actually capable of like, making their own questions. And they are like creating their questions according to what they want us to ask them, because they want to talk about something, and we would know what they want to talk about, because we always ask them our own questions, which are very often not important for them.
Yes. So when you talk about discovering that animal communication can be fun, doesn't have to fix problems, doesn't have to just be about serious topics, does that take the pressure off? Does that make you want to communicate with your animals more?
Yes, exactly. And I can feel in these communications that like everything is more fluent and easier. And I can feel that the animals are really excited talking about these things, because why wouldn't they? They created their own questions.
So have you experienced that yourself since learning that concept in the Deep Speak community? Have you yourself tried it out where you allow, or not allow, but you make space for your animals to bring questions and topics to you?
Yes, of course. We are like discussing many things, and from one question can one question can go very, very deep, and with one question you can spend really long time, many minutes, even hours, exploring it.
And it must make you curious. I wonder what they want to talk about today, rather than us going, oh, I don't know what to talk to them about today. It completely changes it, doesn't it? So, Hana, I want you to imagine at the moment somebody watching this and they've looked at the deep speak cards, and they're very drawn to the deep speak cards, and they so want to practice animal communication. And they're still very new to the idea of the animals coming up with the questions and the topics. So let's say they've bought the card decks and they've shuffled the deck, and then Ari pops up, Pip pops up, and Richie pops up. And then they look at the questions that each of them have presented to Piedad and myself, so that we co-created the questions with them. And then they go, I don't know how to start. I don't know what to do. What would be your advice to help them move from that stage where they really want to, they've got the photos, they got the questions, what next?
I always recommend to take time with the animal to first to get to know him or her, to connect with his or her energy, to introduce yourself, just as you would do with a person you meet. And you can do it like even before you ask any questions. You can do it, and you can ask the questions later that day or the next day. So I would recommend this at the beginning, and you will see that next time when you connect with the animal for the second or third time, that things will be easier because you will know the animal already. It's like when you meet somebody for the second, third time, you have more things to talk about.
That's that is so reassuring, Hannah, because we forget about that. We almost think that is a like one chance, connect with the animal and that's it. But no, with these cards, you can connect again and again. And even if the question is the same, there will be something else that will come out of it, because their feelings will change, their viewpoint will change. And it's to trust that because Ari, Richie, and Pip came up with a question, they will be keen to talk about it. So when you think about the beginning of your animal communication studying, because we spoke about that at the beginning and where you are today, if you had the deep speak cards at the beginning of your journey, if you had known about the deep speak concept, how would it have changed, or would it have changed how your journey was at the beginning of your animal communication learning?
I'm sure that it would be a big help for me, because the worst thing when I was learning animal communication was that I was so afraid of like telling the animal's person what I found out. I was so afraid, or so even scared, what they would tell me, that I'm not correct, that it's not true, that I got it wrong, and that was my biggest problem. But with these questions, you cannot go wrong.
Wow, with these questions, you cannot go wrong. So I'm so glad again that you've brought something up that many, many people would be secretly hiding, that is their fear, because nobody wants to look as if they're scared, because all around they look at everybody else and compare themselves. Oh, she looks confident. He seems to know so much. Oh, he got lots, so what would you say to the person who wants to send in the communication to you? Because when they purchase the card decks, included in the purchase is that they get 30 days membership, where Piedad and I will be there to support, as well as the animals, persons, all the animals that are in the card decks. their persons have actually committed to 30 days of support. So there's this person wanting to send their communication to you, Hana, but they're scared. What do you say to them?
The first thing is that I understand them, and I would never do anything to anybody that I don't like other people doing to me. So I would never tell them that they are wrong, because even if I thought they could be wrong, they might get something that I don't know.
What
That
if they worry about, for example, at the moment, the only way that we can facilitate is for them to send it in a written form, be it an email or within the group? What if they worry that the way they write, they might think, oh, I don't write well and I don't know how to put down in words how the communication, and then they worry that you might say or think that this is not a good read. What would be your take on it from your own experience?
that was one of my one of my worries too, because I'm not native English speaker. But actually, I never had problem with these things, because in our group, in the membership, and in with people around Joanne, they're all of us are very nice, and we never judge anybody. And especially, why would we judge somebody because of their English? It's nonsense.
That is so, I love the way you say that with gusto. It's nonsense. And you know what? At the end of the day, Hana, animals don't speak in a grammatically fluent style, because we know we get bits and pieces. We get words that come together that might not actually mean anything, because that's what we're supposed to do. We then translate it and put it together more for the other human to understand. So the animals aren't worried, are they? So that's something to remember. If they're not worried, why are we worrying? Hana, it's been so lovely to hear your very honest approach to animal communication, your experiences, and sharing so openly because you want to help other people, and also your own journey where you started off excited and then it seems to have got very serious, and then it seems like you've kind of reached a place of feels very peaceful to me. Would you say that's where you're at with animal communication?
Yes, I found peace. Yes, I had a lot of practice in this group, and it's like fun for me, and I'm looking forward to every conversation, because I know that nothing can happen. Even I learned that even nothing means something.
That is our biggest revelation, that when we get something, it actually means something. So thank you for throwing that big tip in there, Hana. So I hope that when you're watching this, you feel reassured to know that we are all here to support you should you, wish to purchase the Deep Speak cards deck. The animals are waiting. Ari, Richie, and Pip are 3 of the animals in the deck. There are 44 questions in that deck that you can practice and get the support from a loving community. So thank you, Hana, so much for your time, sharing your insights and experiences. And it was really lovely to hear your journey with regards to the Deep Speak concept and cards.
Thank you very much.